Hey, it's Chris at the Boondocks Homestead, and I'm going to show you guys what to do with all these little pickling cucumbers. If you don't have time to can them, or to make relish, or to make pickles or anything, or how you have to leave them in your lime water and your ice cold water, and it's just a process, right, to have good crispy pickles. Well, I'm going to show you a fast way to have good crispy pickles, and you're just going to put them in your refrigerator, and they're called refrigerator pickles. And so today we're going to take about 6 to 7 of these little guys, about 4 inches long, or it can be a little bit longer, but just a little pickling cucumbers. And we're going to take about 6 to 7 of those, and we're going to cut them in like 1/4 inch cuts, okay? But first, before we do that, we're going to make a brine that goes on it, over the top of it, and it consists of a cup of vinegar, and we're going to put a cup of sugar. When we were eating sugar, I put 2 cups of sugar, and it makes them really good, but it's really not good for you. So I'm dropping it down to a cup, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. And then we're going to put some salt in it, and some celery seed, and some mustard seed, and some onions and peppers. And I got the green peppers come out of the garden. I have them somewhere. They come out of the garden. And we've got several more growing. I'm so glad, because I freeze these all for the winter, because during the winter time, you go to the store, and how much are peppers? They're like $3 a piece or something. It's ridiculous. So I freeze these, and they work just fine. Then I use the purple onions to put in it, and I use a few. These are store-bought ones, because my yellow and red ones they're not ready yet. So I have little store-bought ones. And I chop them up and put them in here, because I like this color. Isn't that pretty? I mean, it's a color, and you'll see when I get it put in the jar. Okay, so I'm going to start this brine, and I'm going to get it going, and you have to let it set for a little bit. Not a long time. It doesn't take a long time, just a little while. You'll bring it to a boil, and then you'll just kind of let it simmer for 15-20 minutes or so. Okay, so a cup of vinegar in your brine, and you're going to put it in the pan. Okay, cup of vinegar, cup of sugar. If you want more sugar, have at it, but I don't want all that sugar. I don't think sugar's good for you guys. I really don't. So I'm going to put that and that, and then we're going to put, what else did I put in here? The salt. We're going to put the salt, okay? And I also put this recipe underneath the video, like I always do for you. We're going to whisk this around in here. We're going to bring it to a boil. Now, don't put your face over it, because like that vinegar will take your breath away. Trust me on that one. You bring it to a boil, and then you're going to turn it down to like a low-medium heat and let it simmer, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and cut these. While that's doing that, I'm going to cut these little cucumbers up, and I'll get you back on here, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, so we've got our brine cooled off. It's not hot anymore. You want to let this completely cool off, okay? Because when you go to pour that brine over these cucumbers, if it's hot, it's going to make your pickles shrivel, and they'll get soft, and you don't want that. So we're going to start layering these things. We're going to take these cucumbers and put a little layer in the bottom, and then we're going to put a little bit of the onion and the peppers in there. Then we'll put a little bit of mustard seed and a little bit of celery seed, and then we're going to do it all over again, okay? And this is probably a quart. I think this is a quart wet jar, so you can use whatever kind of jar you have. You could use a mason jar. I started to use a bigger jar, and I may end up having to, because I don't think this is going to hold everything. Or I'll just make a small one is what I'll do. I think. You just kind of, it don't have to be perfect, you guys. I'm just afraid I usually double that brine, and I forgot to do that. So, but it's no big deal, because I'm just going to make a jar this big. See how pretty that is? It's got all those colors in it. And then I just take my brine. I'm sorry, I'm right-handed, guys. You're not going to be able to see this very good. I just pour this brine right over the top. See, and that's enough for, because all this is going to kind of get smaller and settle. But I usually double that recipe and I get a bigger jar. But that's okay, because I'll do another thing, another brine. I'll just add this stuff together, right? And then I'll make me some more brine and I'll make me another jar. So here's what it looks like. It fills it about halfway full. But what you're going to do is, after you put the lid on, these wet jars, they're a little more complicated than a regular jar, but I like them still. Little things coming out there. Okay, we'll get it together here. And these really keep the air out, though. I really like these jars. And I know a lid may do the same thing, but I just like these jars. My mail lady got me started on these. Anyway, so you just kind of, and every day, get in your refrigerator, and you're just going to kind of get that brine all over those pickles, okay? And those pickles, those cucumbers are going to turn into pickles, refrigerator pickles, and you're just going to eat them right out of the jar, okay? And all this stuff will be pickled too, and it'll be good too with that brine on there. It'll be really good. All right, so there you have it, refrigerator pickles. And I'll put all my measurements and all my directions and everything underneath here. It's really easy, so easy. So I'll get off here for today, and Lord willing, I will see you on the next video, and y'all have a blessed day.